So it's been almost a month now since Louder Than Life.
Yeah.
But we did miss an entire episode of Co-Pilots because of it.
We were just not feeling it.
Very exhausted. It turns out multiple day music festivals, exhausting.
Whoever would have guessed.
But now we got to talk about it because this is In the Cockpit, the podcast where we just talk about what we've been up to and what we've been doing, the media we've been consuming, and how the United States is consistently and perpetually falling apart, and we're moving towards the slowest apocalypse there's ever been. Woo! So, we only went to 2 days of Louder Than Life, Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
And if you know anything about this year's Louder Than Life,
it was not good.
You'll know that Friday was
the worst day.
The worst.
Yeah.
So before we get into why Friday was specifically the worst, can I talk about why Louder Than Life sucks now?
Go the fuck ahead, man. When did I ever stop talking about how things suck?
So the first time I went to Louder Than Life was a decade ago, 2015.
Oh, you're old.
I am old. Like, this is definitely old men shouting at clouds.
Yeah.
But I think I would have had this opinion if I went to 2015 and then 2025 was actually 2016. Like, if this was back to back, I'd still have this opinion. Because in 2015, Louder Than Life took place at a location in Louisville called Champions Park, which is this nice, grassy, tree-filled area.
Yeah.
It was big, open, so you could, like, have stages spread out from each other. But the most important part was, like, it was grassy, and there was trees for shade, and, like...
Nice.
Yeah, and, like, the trees also provided, like, breaks for the sound, right? Like,
yeah,
they broke the
natural sound breaks.
Yeah. Now Louder Than Life takes place at what used to be Six Flags, Kentucky.
But now it's Kentucky Kingdom because of issues with rides and lawsuits because of maimings.
So now it's just Kentucky Kingdom, like you said. And unlike Champions Park, there is no grass.
No.
There is no dirt.
No.
There are no trees for shade.
There's like 3 trees.
And it's all, like, paved. Mm-hmm. So, in general, I wouldn't want to go to any concert paved.
No, it's fucking horrible. I hate it.
Like, even if I was going to be bopping up and down like at a pop concert or something, not necessarily like what I would.
No, it's not good for the knees. It's not good for the feet. It's hot. It's uncomfortable.
It's going to reflect the sunlight back at you.
Mm-hmm. If you want to sit down, you're not sitting down on hot, cooked stone.
But never, ever, in my ever, would I want to go to a metal festival where the metal bands are playing to crowds who are standing on concrete.
God, no.
Because I don't know if you know about concrete and mosh pits.
They don't mix very well.
Like, it's actually terrible. I don't know if you know about concrete and crowd surfers. Don't mix very well. I don't know if you know about concrete and jumping up and down. That's bad for your knees, yo.
Yeah.
And so basically what I'm saying is Louder Than Life sucks now because, like, not only, like, in addition to, like, the worst venue.
Yeah.
And, like, I know some people probably enjoyed it because, like, if you travel from Texas or something, you've never been here, these are new roller coasters for you to ride. Because they did, like, have the theme park open vaguely for part of the day.
Yeah. But it's not a very good theme park.
Yeah, and it wasn't worth waiting in lines, but you could instead be, like, hanging out at merch tents or, like, drinking or getting food or, like...
Let me be clear. Having grown up living near this place, I never once went because it was never interesting to go to that theme park.
I did go once.
Yeah.
And it was fine for, like, a trip that my marching band did.
Yeah.
We played there, and then we enjoyed the day there. But, like...
Yeah, never once went, never wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, forgot it existed.
Holiday World is actually a better theme park than
Kentucky and Holiday World feels depressing.
Only because you've been there multiple times.
Also, because it's just the holiday theme for like all the places just always feels kind of outdated and dilapidated.
A little bit.
So it just feels old and kind of sad.
So
it like gives a vibe of the movie Adventureland, but without all the fun, quirky bits.
So in addition to the actual venue being worse for the festival it was actually also the most crowded year of Louder Than Life.
Yeah.
And Friday in particular was the most crowded day of any single Louder Than Life because this little band that some people might know called Sleep Token was playing.
Yeah.
And
they're fine.
Sleep Token are fine. They're fine. They have some good songs. They have some like meh songs. Mostly they're like Tool to me. Their music goes nowhere, and I don't care about it or appreciate it at all. And I know
but the people who like it are extremely obsessed with it, like Tool.
Yeah, I know there are like Tool fans who might listen to this and be like, woo, and like, I know there are Sleep Token fans who are like, might be listening to this and be like, woo. If you'll notice, Sleep Token fans were a little higher pitched because they're more women. That's not mean sexist. That's an accurate generalization of those fan bases.
Fair.
But, and like the fact that Sleep Token's fan base is more women is not why it's an issue. That's not an issue at all. The issue is Sleep Token is an arena rock band at best.
Definitely.
And their fans
are not
like metal festival fans. They're not metal music fans.
They're not aware of metal culture or metal festival culture / behavior, which is going to be a very important thing.
Or etiquette in general. Like, I have never been to a music festival where people were so rude about like pushing through the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
it's always a thing no matter where you go, when you go to a festival or even a concert, if it's general admission, no like seating,
Yeah.
people are going to push to get to barricade.
Yeah, they want to. It's fine. That's normal.
People typically, though, won't literally push you to the ground to get past you to get to barricade.
Yeah.
Sleep Token fans were doing that.
They'll generally take a no for an answer unless they're drunk off their fucking ass, has been my experience.
Yeah. Sleep Token fans will not.
No.
They were actively like hurting people to get closer to the stage. Mm-hmm. And that would be bad enough. That would be bad enough.
Except I've also never been to a festival where people were so unaware of festival etiquette / behavior. So generally, I don't know about other music genre fans / festivals.
It's ingrained in the punk and metal and rock communities.
That when someone gets hurt, people throw their hands up and put it and cross their wrists as an X. You make an X with your arms to signify, hey, there's an issue over here.
And then as a group, you yell for a medic.
Yes. There were way too many injuries happening. I think that'll happen at festivals. People will get hurt. You have a lot of people. It's also vaguely the tail end of summer. It gets hot. Some people don't take care of themselves.
It's 90-something degrees out.
Yeah. So some people will be dehydrated. They'll pass out. That happens.
Well, also, like, if the band you want to see is later in the day, like Sleep Token, and so you push to get to Rel, you don't want to leave Rel because if you leave Rel, it's going to be impossible to get back.
Yeah.
If you run out of water at like 3 o'clock and Sleep Token's not playing until 7, what do?
Pass out.
Yeah, you get dehydrated and pass out.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's an issue that was being happening.
So many people were throwing up X's, and other people didn't know what they meant, and were just doing it because they thought it was, I don't know, like throwing up horns.
Devil horns, yeah, like
or
throwing up the
something.
horns. It's like, oh, this is like part of the thing, and it's like, no, you're just confusing where the medics need to be.
Yeah, no. There's someone hurt right over here to our left in front of us. What are you doing?
And like, that's terrible. That's just downright terrible, and it gets worse. It compounds on itself because I'm gonna get to the crowd surfing one eventually.
Yeah.
But like Sleep Token fans, and this was a big complaint I saw from like a bunch of people across Reddit, TikTok, Facebook. Sleep Token fans had got there early.
Yep.
And they had pushed their way to the front. And then rather than standing there and like waiting and like participating in the other band's playing, they literally sat down on the ground. And in some cases, at least one case, were literally playing Uno.
Nice.
While other people were trying to vibe with bands that were currently playing.
Yeah.
This causes people to trip over you. Mm-hmm. This causes people to not see you when they're trying to move forward. This causes holes where crowd surfers can fall.
Yeah.
And like, that's an accidental fall. I'm going to get to like the worst part of the crowd surfing thing. But like, these things add up and create more injuries and make the experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Except you yourself, the person doing it, worse.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what it comes down to. Metal festivals and rock festivals and punk shows have a very like community-driven sense to them.
Yeah, normally.
It's about like enjoying this thing that we all share like a love for.
Yeah. And
Sleep Token fans were there for Sleep Token.
Yeah, and there's an idea of respect. Hey, even if you don't like this band that is performing, you still like don't actively cause a bad time for someone else. Like, you don't get in the way of like someone standing there. You don't push them out of the way. Sitting's not like, generally a thing you do. Like, if you are tired or exhausted, like sitting's fine, especially like a festival.
Especially between bands.
Yeah, but like not normally during the performance. If you're obviously feeling not well or something like that's generally okay. But sitting down and fucking play Uno, what the fuck, man?
Like, there's some funny like memes across the internet. Like, there's pictures of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the pit or something.
Yeah,
and like, sure, that's a good meme. It like one-time thing. Or, like, if it's relevant to, like, the artist or something.
Yeah.
But, like...
Also, I think the one I saw of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In a pit, it was obviously had been a circle pit. Mm-hmm. And then you had a few people standing in the middle of a circle pit, which already has a natural open in the middle and being like, yo, I'm pointing at some guys who had thrown down Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and I don't think we're actively playing the game.
Yeah. But, like, you engage with the bands that are playing, especially when it's dual stages. So one stage is live, the other stage is waiting. When the stage that you're sitting in front of, the stage that Sleep Token's to be playing at, has a band on it, you should be up on your feet. Like, maybe if you're sitting down while the band on the other stage plays, like, well, Insane Clown Posse plays on stage A.
Sure, I guess.
Like, it's still not, like, good concert etiquette, but, like, okay. But when there's a band on the stage in front of you, and you're still sitting there playing, like, Uno, it's rude as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Now... The big thing that, like, irritated me about Friday, and, like...
It pissed off a lot of people.
Like, yeah, it like, spawned entire conversation chains across Reddit, Facebook, Twitter.
I think it actually spawned a petition for some people to, like, to multiple music fests to not have Sleep Token at music festivals.
Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. We've been talking about, like, Sleep Token fans being kind of, like...
disrespectful.
We haven't been talking about them actively hurting people on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, maybe roughly pushing through the crowds, like, knocking people over to get to the front. Like, that happened. But, like, it wasn't, like, a big thing. Like, it was common. Like, they were rougher. They weren't, like, taking no for an answer when they tried to push past. and like they were a little bit like dickisher about it.
Yeah.
But they weren't actively attempting to harm people.
No.
This here, though, this was actively attempting to hurt people.
Yeah. And even if in their minds they weren't actively hurting people, their complete disregard for people was actively harmful.
I think like this goes to like legally speaking, what would a rational person in this situation do?
Yeah.
And like
I think it counts for negligence.
yeah, it's criminal negligence.
I would think so, yeah.
And like I mean literally criminal negligence here, because at least one person missed the rest of Louder Than Life because they were in the hospital with a brain bleed.
Yep.
Because they were dropped while crowd surfing.
Which
and like,
can happen.
It happens. Crowd surfing comes with a risk. There's giant signs everywhere saying, "Hey, crowd surf at your own risk."
Yeah.
But the risk of crowd surfing is that people don't see you. You like
they're trying to carry you, and you hit a patch of like weaker people,
or like the crowd's a little less dense here,
or you've somehow gotten steered towards a
mosh
hole
pit.
or
Yeah.
a mosh pit. Though every time I've seen someone get steered towards a mosh pit, the mosh pit generally kind of just stops and carries them across the pit and then continues.
Like all these things happen and are ways people fall while
Yeah.
crowd surfing naturally. Sleep Token fans were actively refusing to carry people, and then later in the night, literally chanting for people to drop people.
Yeah.
They were like, and
it wasn't like, oh, we're just not going to carry them if they come across us, which does suck. But generally in a denser crowd will mean, hey, this person's just going to fall on top of you. But from my understanding, they would get a hold of someone and move their stuff out of the way and then just let go.
or at least in 2 occasions I know of, they would like, let's say you were helping to crowd surf somebody.
Yeah.
They would shove you so that you would drop the surfer.
Yeah, which is assault on someone, and then also assault on the crowd server.
That's what happened to the woman that had her brain bleed and missed the next 2 days of the show.
Yeah.
Because somebody shoved the guy carrying her. He stumbled, dropped her right on her head on concrete. Because again, no grass, no dirt, concrete.
Hey, they had some AstroTurf for like some small sections of the year.
No, it wasn't AstroTurf. AstroTurf is actually like got sprinkled.
Yeah, I know. It was shitty putting green.
Yeah.
It was, hey, I'm a pretentious boss in a 90s business movie. Look at my tiny putting green in my office.
The one thing it did was make it so that like, if you sat down there, it wasn't as hot.
Yeah, that's really all it did.
It wasn't padding. It wasn't like protective. And like, I have tears welling up because like, I have been going to concerts for 15 fucking years now.
Yeah, same.
A decade and a half. And I've never seen a metal crowd, a group of people. And I've proudly identified as like a member of the metal community. I wouldn't call myself a metalhead because like there's some like really shitty metalheads.
Yeah.
But I'm a proud member of like alternative music as a community. These people were not the alternative music community. Like actively going out of your way to hurt somebody. And like you will see people on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook defending them, being like, I shouldn't have to like carry the.
Yeah, I didn't pay for a ticket to have someone crowd surf.
I didn't pay for a ticket so that I had to spend my entire show watching out for crowd surfers. I get paid to see the band. And it's like, yeah, if you wanted to see the band and you didn't want crowd surfers, get off to the sides or go sit somewhere or like get out of the middle of the crowd, get out of the front of the crowd.
Be aware what a fucking music festival is.
Like, don't...
Hey, if you want to see your band live and never want to have to worry about music, about crowd surfers,
go to a stadium show.
Go to a stadium show. Sit in a fucking seat.
And then people are like, oh, I couldn't get stadium tickets because they sell out so fast. Yeah. So, like, don't come here. Because, like, coming to Louder Than Life and telling people, oh, I'm not going to help you crowd surf. I'm not going to carry you if you come over me. That's like going into somebody's house and then like they're like, hey, can you not put your feet on my furniture? And you're like, no. I
didn't come to your house to not put my feet up.
Yeah, like you're coming to somebody else's house and trying to dictate the rules.
Yeah. Because
I don't want to be a dick. And like Trivium Matt Heafy has said Sleep Token's a metal band, so I guess we have to accept Matt Heafy's word as the king of metal that Sleep Token's a metal band, but their fans are not metal fans.
Yeah. And it's not even like they have the excuse of like, well, crowd surfing is not allowed. Some festivals and shows have blatant saying, hey, no crowd surfing. Generally to cover their ass, they don't actually care if you do it. Louder Than Life doesn't do that. Louder Than Life says, hey, you can crowd surf. It is kind of dangerous. Beware.
There are posters and banners outside that say, crowd surfing, moshing will happen. Crowd surf and mosh at your own risk.
Yeah, but it tells you it will happen. It tells you, hey, even if you're not participating in this, these things will happen. You have been notified. You've been made aware.
And like the fact that like people were actively dropping people on their fucking heads on concrete, it's
one of the biggest offenses in my opinion, and it's mainly from the Sleep Token, but one of the things that pissed me off the most is having heard from multiple different sources, at times there were security guards saying, yeah, just drop them.
Yeah, because they didn't want to do their job.
Yeah.
And like, that's fucked. That's an actual betrayal. Like,
like that's super fucked up, and you should not bringing back those security people. And I'm aware that most of these events have like the convention center or the park or whatever's security staff. Cool. Don't go back to that place or make sure those staff members are fired.
Yeah.
They're not doing their jobs. They're actively endorsing harm.
I don't like. It could have been the best live performances I've ever seen. It could have been Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
And like Atreyu and like literally the best bands I've ever seen live. It could have been that all weekend long. I could have seen all of my favorite bands, and I still would have walked away from Louder Than Life disappointed and upset.
Yeah.
Based on Sleep Token and their crowd.
Yeah.
And like it sucks because like even if they're not like at Sleep Token stage, they were elsewhere throughout Louder Than Life.
Yeah.
Behaving in similar ways regardless of who was playing. Mm-hmm. And it just really sucks to like have a community and have events that like you enjoy going to be ruined by, I'm going to say it, outsiders. I don't want to gatekeep in general, but sometimes you need to gatekeep. Some things need to be gatekept for the greater good to keep something good and positive.
Yeah. Gatekeeping doesn't necessarily mean keeping people out. It means keeping, in my opinion, it means keeping people out who refuse to accept like the rules or understand the situation, or are actively antagonistic to the general thing as a whole.
Who refuse to abide by the social contract.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to agree to do the social contract that we've been living by for Louder Than Life, this was the 11th year of Louder Than Life, why should you be here?
Yeah.
And like,
why would we be okay with you being here? Basically, it's, hey, I'm not, in the most low down sense, it's, hey, if I have a group of friends, we're not going to be friends with you if you're an asshole. Mm-hmm. That's what gatekeeping is on a giant level, in my opinion. There are people who gatekeep just to be fucking assholes and like, oh, well, you don't know this thing. That's the bad gatekeeping.
Well, like,
good gatekeeping, because good gatekeeping does exist, is saying, hey, if you're a piece of shit, we don't want you here. It's like punks being like, oh, no, you're a fucking Nazi? We'll drum you the fuck out of the show. Yeah, that's like, gatekeeping, but it's good.
So, like, we went with our sister and our niece, and they're huge Sleep Token fans.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a large reason why we went. And, like, it sucks to be like, Sleep Token fans ruined this event.
Yeah.
But I don't mean you.
Yeah.
Like, because every time I was talking shit, I spent the entire weekend after Friday talking shit about Sleep Token because, well, not the band. The band did nothing wrong.
The fans.
Let's be clear. Sleep Token did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They were perfect. They were good.
Yeah, they had a great performance.
The fans did shit wrong. And it's like, every time I'm talking about how badly Sleep Token fucked up the experience for me, Sleep Token fans fucked up the experience for me, I have to like turn to my sister and my niece and be like, not you guys. You guys were like, this is your first festival. You were learning.
Also, they were very much like, yeah, no, it was fucked. Like, whenever they had a question about something, like, when they saw X's being thrown up, they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, that means someone's hurt and they need help over there. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, okay. Should we throw some up? I'm like, yeah, we're close enough. We can throw some up here.
Like, they were trying to learn and be respectful of the culture. And like, that's what it is. It's coming into a culture and disrespecting it.
Yes.
And like anywhere else, if you went to India and like you were just blatantly disrespectful to the Indian people, people would be like, hey, fuck you. You're like,
yeah. And
it's the same thing. Like, this is a specific subsect of culture and community with a bunch of people coming in and disrespecting it. Okay, I think if you're done with shit talking Sleep Token, I'm done with shit talking Sleep Token.
Yeah.
It really fouled the entire weekend.
Well, that, and then the fact that Ubers were gouging people.
Yeah, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just talk about all the shitty parts of Louder Than Life, and then we can actually get to the bands we enjoy and stuff. So,
Friday night,
we took an Uber to Louder Than Life
because, hey, we were like a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
And we were originally going to walk because we were told it was walkable. Looking at the map, we would have had to cross an interstate. And like, on foot. It was with no bridge or anything over.
It was definitely walkable there. It would not have been walkable back.
No.
Like, I had blisters on my feet that were like, they were so big that I couldn't like put my toes on the ground. So like, it wouldn't have been walkable back to the hotel. But like, we were like, we'll take an Uber there, whatever.
And we'll take an Uber back because, hey, Louder Than Life is super big on their promoting stuff, being like, hey, we are super Uber friendly. We have an entire area set up. It'll be super easy.
And so we believed them. And like, Friday night might have been in part because of the Sleep Token fans. Because it was the single most attended day of any Louder Than Life ever.
Yes. And there was also an accident, like, right down the road.
And so, like, those things compound to make the situation worse.
Yes. But the handling of a bad situation was not made better by the way the event staff did it.
And, like, we left before the last band finished. Last band was Avenged Sevenfold. We left...
like 2 songs into their set.
2-3 songs into Avenged Sevenfold's set. And so we get to the rideshare area. And the rideshare area splits into 2 areas. One is for taxis, which there's like maybe 3 or 4 taxis right now, like coming in and leaving, and like the line is massively backed up.
And it's like Z-Share or something or other.
Z-Trip, and none of us have used Z-Trip before.
And there was nothing to explain it, and when we asked people, they couldn't explain it to us. There was no event staff around to ask a question about it.
So we went over to the Uber Lyft area, and we're like, we'll just book an Uber Lyft, and I did. I booked an Uber X for $16 as soon as we got there.
Yep.
And then 10 minutes later, it was canceled. Not by us, by the driver.
So I booked one for $25.
And like the prices kept going up. Eventually, we're sitting here trying to book Ubers for like $80, $70.
Because it's been about an hour and a half.
Yeah. And like it keeps getting more crowded and more crowded. And we got out here at like 10:30.
Yep.
And then not only we then event staff start yelling into the crowd like, "Hey, I got a driver here, willing to take anybody if you need a driver." And then, like...
So some people would go up and be like, oh, yeah, cool. We'll get a ride. They'd walk up and they'd be like, okay, so we're going here. And the driver wouldn't put in the location. They wouldn't set them up or have them pull up a ride on the app. They'd be like, okay, I can do it for $100.
$120.
$150.
The issue was these drivers, even if they were like, even if they drove for Uber or Lyft regularly, they weren't driving for Uber or Lyft in this capacity.
No.
They were parking in there was 5 lanes for Uber or Lyft drivers to pull in, pick up their rides, and leave.
And it was like 5 cars deep. So it'd be 5 across and then 5 deep. So they'd be stuck there until the car in front of them moved.
The problem is the cars in front weren't there as Uber or Lyft to pick up individual riders that had already...
No, they were there to price gouge people, and they were not leaving when no one would agree to take a ride. They would just sit there.
And on top of that, the event staff was like facilitating this illegal ride sharing.
Yes.
Because it is illegal in the state of Kentucky to pay money for a ride if the person doesn't have a chauffeur's license.
Yes. Uber and Lyft get around that through weird legal bullshit where when you're under them, you're technically under like their insurance and they have like a weird fleet chauffeur licensing that they can do. So if you're driving for them, it counts because you're under their insurance and stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're not getting a ride for an Uber or Lyft and someone's doing that, they most likely do not have a chauffeur license and as an individual cannot drive you for payment.
Like they're the ones breaking the law, not necessarily you.
Yeah.
But like it still stands that like the event staff were facilitating like illegal ride shares. And like, because the way the venue was geo-fenced, you couldn't book through Uber or Lyft
anywhere else around that area,
except for in the ride pickup. And the problem is, when you try to book there, it would move the pin out to the gate where the Uber and Lyft needed to come through.
Yes.
And so we finally got an Uber or Lyft driver. I think it was like $63. At this point, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, about 1:15ish, 1:20.
So we've been out here for 2.5 hours. We finally have a driver. He's coming. He gets to the gate, and he goes, hey, this is where the pin is. You need to come meet me. The problem is, the event staff's not letting us out that way. Cops are blocking the way.
It's barricaded. There's active cars moving through there.
And so, like, we can't go over there. Like, hey, you need to come through here.
You need to follow the posted signs that are, like, right over there. We know they're there. We've seen them.
And follow the event staff with the glowing little wands showing you where to go. And he's like, can't do it. This is where the pin is. And he literally sat there, and Uber started trying to charge me for my driver waiting. I got that charge reversed. Like, he eventually canceled the ride. But, like, he knew what he was doing because he knew where he had to go.
Yeah, there was literally signs and people motioning for people, like, literally right where he was on where to go.
Mm-hmm. We finally got out of there because we did eventually just give some dude cash to drive us back to our hotel.
Not at the exorbitant rates of like $150, $200. I think it ended up being $40 is what he asked for, and I think we gave him $60.
Because it was three and a half hours after we got there, and we just wanted to go.
Yeah.
We had been waiting for a ride for 3.5 hours. We had probably booked a dozen Ubers and Lyfts between the 4 of us.
Tried to negotiate with a little event bus. Yeah. Because we weren't on their path, but we were super close by. And
like they would
the lady for that was very nice and she was trying to work it out. But then a guy who was on their path showed up and was like, hey. Yeah. So that didn't work out for us.
But like it was a nightmare and it was like it was so bad.
And the event bus would have been like $20 per person, it would have been $80. And we were gonna do that, so we just said fuck it, $60 for this guy who was very, very nice actually.
A very, very aggressive driver.
Yeah, like, he was at the very back of this group and had apparently like just shown up.
He got out of the
there
car
for like 10 minutes,
moved the like cones and stuff that were connected by cable,
and was driving between cars with like 2 inches on either side.
And like when he would get out of the car and be like yell at the driver till they like moved their car so he could get through. Mm-hmm. Like they couldn't move their car very far, but he like you just need dude was a lifesaver. And
there was one other nice driver who got out and was facilitating him by yelling at other drivers to get the car out of the way for him. And then the guy put the cones back behind us.
Sometimes humanity does good things. Is it motivated by capital and want to increase their own wealth? Yes.
Yeah, but I also think he didn't want to be fucking stuck there.
Yeah. But like it's 2 a.m. We get back to the hotel. We haven't ate dinner because we all decided we weren't like eating food at Louder Than Life because
it's way too expensive.
It's way too expensive. So we haven't ate dinner. We get back to the hotel. We're like trying to order food. We eventually get food ordered. But we're sitting there like eating our pizza being like, I don't even know if we're going back tomorrow. Like, we have passes for Saturday. But like today was so bad between Sleep Token fans,
which are
sister and niece.
Yes. Agreed. Or bad.
And like between that and then 3.5 hours
of just waiting in a parking lot,
literally
surrounded by
laying
people
on concrete
with no water.
Yeah, no water
because we had maybe 2 bottles of water left, and that should have been fine while waiting for an Uber.
And like there was no water, there's no food anywhere. There are porta potties. Yeah, but like that's it. And I know again, part of it was because there was a crash on the interstate nearby. Part of it was like. Actually, that's the only excuse. Yeah. That's the only excuse.
And, like, event staff did not handle things well. They were not explaining things. Like, I saw multiple people ask about the Z-Trip shit. Event staff could not explain it. It was a bad time.
It was actually terrible. So we're sitting there talking Saturday morning, Friday night, being like, hey, I don't even know if we want to go back. So we actually end up posting our badges for sale.
Yep. Which at first we were like, oh, we don't actually think we can because you got to like activate it, supply a bunch of information. Turns out you could change literally every bit of information. I checked because I really didn't want to fucking go.
Yeah.
And we could change every bit of information. So I was like, it's entirely doable.
And we're talking about this, and we wake up the next morning, get breakfast, and we're still talking. We're like, hey, so what if we just don't go until like later in the afternoon? We can miss a lot of these earlier bands, which like I did miss Hawthorne Heights because of this, and like that sucks. I love Hawthorne Heights. But, like...
Not worth going.
We were like, we'll just go later in the evening. We'll go get, like, a nice lunch. See how we feel. And then go. And, like, we did end up selling one of the badges. Just decided he didn't want to go to day 2.
There was no bands I was super looking forward to. It wasn't worth it. I did not enjoy the people. The vibe was not there. It was a bad time. I stayed at the hotel. Thought about going to watch a movie. Got back a bit too late from lunch to watch Ghibli movies that were in theaters at the time. Not Boy and the Heron, which you would think. No, it was a re-showing of...
Spirited Away, right?
Spirited Away. I thought about going to see, but we got back like 15 minutes before that.
From the lunch, which
I probably could have left everyone at that point, but I was like, nah.
You could have just like left from...
That's what I'm saying. I probably could have done that, but I said nah.
Yeah.
And I got back to the hotel. I thought about maybe also going to see the new Superman movie.
But
it turns out that it had just hit HBO that day, and HBO is one of the channels available, so I just watched the new Superman movie in the hotel room.
And like... Part of the reason why we ended up deciding to go on day 2, me, my sister, and niece, was like, hey, if Justice isn't going, when we get ready to leave, we can like message Justice, and he can book a 2-stop trip on Uber or Lyft.
Yep.
From the hotel to the venue. Well, actually, not even from the hotel to the venue. From the hotel to the hotel at the venue.
Which they allowed people to go to.
Because there was a walking path to that hotel.
Yep.
And then from that hotel back to our hotel.
Yep.
All in one trip. And we can just be there waiting for him. This way we don't have to like wait through the crush of Ubers and Lyfts at the rideshare zone that's like allowed in the life. Spent all weekend being like, use our rideshare zone for like quick and easy access in and out of the venue.
Yeah.
It wasn't quick or easy access in or out of the venue.
Yeah. Even what I heard on the other days. Not good if you got there after the last band.
Yeah, but Saturday night, Bad Omens has like 2 or 3 songs left, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to go to the rideshare area and see if I can secure a Z-Trip taxi. That way Justice doesn't have to like get out of the hotel. Like if he's doing something right now, he's good. And they're like, okay, just let us know. If not, we can like head back towards that other hotel. Like
I was just playing my Steam Deck. It was nice.
I get there. Bad Omens isn't the last band of the night. There's a band after them.
Yeah.
There's like nobody there.
Bad Omens was the main reason why they went the next day, because that's the band our sister really wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. And like there's nobody there. And there's a event staff member there. I talked to him about how Z-Trip works and everything.
Was that one actually helpful?
Yeah, he was incredibly helpful.
Nice.
Yeah, he walked me through everything. And I was like, so where's the line going to start? He's like, the line's going to start over here. I was like, cool, I don't want to get in line yet because I'm waiting on these people. But if like a line starts to form, I'm going to hop in the line and just hold our spot. He's like, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So like 3 or 4 people got in front of me. And then I see our sister and our niece coming through.
Yeah.
And so I got to go ahead and hop in line. And like by the time they get there, we're in line for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And we're in like the 3rd taxi after they show up.
Yeah.
And we're out of there. And it was like the exact opposite experience of the previous night. Mm-hmm. Did mean that I missed like the last 2 or 3 songs of Bad Omens. I'm not a Bad Omens fan, really.
They're fine.
They're fine. They're good. The bands I wanted to see that day, I had already seen. Who cares? Let's go.
They feel like a better version of Make Me Famous, but a worse version of older era Ask Alexandria.
So accurate. That said, I did see a bunch of bands who I did want to see, and I saw a total of 12 bands I'd never seen before across those 2 days.
Yeah.
I think the big ones that like we should talk about are a small little punk band from California who had literally not released a song until the Wednesday before Louder Than Life. Like, literally the day before Louder Than Life, they dropped their first song. And they're called XCOM.
They were so fucking good.
The oldest member of that band...
Oh my fucking God.
The oldest member of that band couldn't have been more than 18 or 19 years old. The drummer was probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Their moms were there.
It was a delight.
They were so good.
It was so fucking good. It was just some like classic hardcore punk. I loved every fucking moment of it. I am and will forever be a fucking... Honestly, I come across like an old punk head sometimes with my taste in punk music.
Yeah.
But I fucking love it. And you'll never get me to deny it. It's fantastic.
Like, they were one of the best bands I saw all weekend. And, like, this was one of their first big shows. They've done, like, house shows and stuff before this.
Yeah.
But, like, oh my God, they were so good.
They really, really were.
I can't describe to you how good XCOM the band is. That's XCOMM.
Yeah, like the video game.
Which,
with an extra M.
It's shorthand in the punk community for excommunicate, which is what happens when you're a Nazi and you show up to a punk show.
Yes, it is.
You get excommunicated very fast.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, like, they were so good and so tight, and like, the shit they were doing is not something like you expect out of like a teenage band performing at one of like their first big shows. I love them so much, and I hope they'd go on to be like a staple in the hardcore scene. Like
same. It was a great time.
The way Beartooth blew up is how XCOM should blow up. Like,
agreed.
Holy shit.
And then hopefully they don't just do the same album again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah. Almost right after XCOM, well, not right after, I saw Nonpoint and Northlane in between XCOM and this band.
Yeah.
And Northlane was like one of the major reasons I wanted to go to Louder Than Life.
Good.
I've never seen Northlane before because they very rarely tour America. This was the first time they've ever even been asked to be on a festival in America because they're an Australian band. They're an Australian prog metal band. And they were so much fun. Holy shit. Northlane, like, yeah, I don't have the words for Northlane. Like, it was a band I've wanted to see for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Finally got to see them. And that alone made Friday, like, salvageable for me.
That's good.
And, like, Nonpoint was fun. They played right before Northlane. And, like, Nonpoint is, like, a band my brain associates strictly with wrestling because they had, like, 2 songs on WWE 2007, 2008.
My brain doesn't strictly relate to wrestling. It relates them to, like, mid-2000s sports games.
I've got a bullet with the name
which, like, equates to wrestling. And I know it doesn't pop up on, like, Madden 07, but my brain feels like it should be on Madden 07.
Yeah.
Like, my brain's just like, oh, this should be in sports games from, like, 2005 to, like, 2008.
And seeing Nonpoint was like a lot like being a 13 or 14-year-old again, playing sports games, but in a giant crowd where everybody was singing along with the songs. It was good. Nonpoint was fun. The big day.
Aurora Wave?
Aurora Wave.
Yeah, baby.
Holy shit, Aurora Wave. So they're like reggae fused with metal.
Yeah.
And they've got to be... I don't like the term industry plant.
Yeah.
But they've got to be like tapped into the industry even before this album, before their first album, before they got like on tours and stuff, because they have so many features of so many like incredibly big names. They have Ollie Sykes on an album. They have like on a song. They have Franz from Attila on a song. They have Brendan and Dan from Atreyu on a song. And like
during their live set, Brandon showed up.
And Dan.
Yeah. They both fucking showed up for their fucking song.
Like, and it was
unexpected.
So good.
It was fucking great.
I mean, I just spent the entire set two-stepping. Like, I was just like vibing that set. Like, it was so
fucking good, man.
I spent the entire Aurora Wave set literally just dancing, and it was so much fun.
I spent it on a chair, not trying to pass out. Not because I hadn't drank or anything, but because I had like an hour of sleep before Friday, and I was just trying not to fall asleep.
But I was just like,
it was very, very good though.
I was just dancing, and like the great thing is like our sister and niece are not metalheads.
No, they like some metal music. Our sister more than our niece.
And like our sister's a big Bad Omens fan. Our niece is a huge Sleep Token fan. They both loved Aurora Wave.
Yeah.
And like I showed our friend Matt, friend of the show Matt, Aurora Wave. And he's like, this is sick. He loves Aurora Wave. Because if you look up Aurora Wave, all one word, AURORAWAVE, they are, even if you don't like reggae or you don't like
they're a fucking vibe.
They're so good.
They're just
so
a
much
vibe,
fun.
man. It's
great. And they were the best band all weekend. No, like,
I would agree.
I don't have a band that's over them.
Yeah, no, like, were their bands that had more performance aspect? Yeah, but that's because they had, they were main stage, headlining, so they had production budgets.
I think that's what we should point out. Aurora Wave and XCOM both performed on the Beyond the Bourbon stage.
Yes, which is literally in a tent with chairs and some tables and lots of bourbon bars.
And a giant bar on either side.
With different little stations where you can try a different type of bourbon. And then there's a tent.
And tables, chairs.
Yeah. It's like, literally, hey, this is our smallest stage. It's just a kind of chill out space. But it was fucking great. Also, it had the best area for, like, moshing or standing or anything because they had plywood floors with a bit of give to them.
Those floors, like, bounced.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, that was my favorite spot all weekend.
Yeah.
And the best part about Beyond the Beyond the Bourbon stage was Aurora Wave.
Yeah.
And XCOM. The third best part about that stage was the smaller stages all close at different times.
Yes, and they always close before the last two stages where your headliners are.
And they close in order of like smallest stage to largest stage.
Yes.
So Beyond the Bourbon is the smallest stage, so it stops playing bands at like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I think it was like 6, yeah.
Which means there's like 4-5 hours more of Louder Than Life.
But they have a giant digital screen behind the band.
And they're just showing video feed of the main stage, piping music in from the main stage. And like, that's where I watched Sleep Token.
Yeah.
I went, I'm not dealing with Sleep Token crowd. I'm going to get out of here. Fuck this. And that's where I watched Sleep Token and Avenged Sevenfold. I just sat in there and made friends with a dude who was also just like, man, today's been too long. I'm just going to chill out in here and like have a drink and watch bands.
Sit down, watch bands.
And it was so good. And like, I spent the entire time like texting my sister and snapping my friend Matt and being like, "Hey, look at this! I got barricade sleep token. Check this out." Because I was sitting right at the barricade for beyond the barricade beyond the Bourbon Lounge, and like,
yeah,
I was like, "I got barricade." I did have barricade, just in front of a giant monitor rather than at the barricade.
But I mean, depending on where you are in that sleep token crowd, all you had was a giant monitor anyways.
Also, you mentioned it was a giant tent, but what you failed to mention is the giant tent had giant fans hanging from the ceiling.
And a giant chandelier.
Yeah, so like it had nice air movement.
Yep.
And then like there on either side of the tent there was these giant big fans that also had
Mr. Fans?
Mr. Fans. Mm-hmm. And like they weren't pointed into the tent, but like they still blew some of their breeze into the tent and like just vibes.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, the best place throughout.
Yep.
So good. Day one, I also ended up seeing Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, Breaking Benjamin, like, wasn't a band I wanted to see.
Yeah, no, I've never had the urge to see them, but, like, they were good live.
They're so good live.
Mm-hmm. There's someone else we saw on the second stage there. Can't remember who it was.
Well, let's see.
I didn't know them very well. They had a good performance. Maybe you weren't over there at the time?
It can't be a band I didn't see because I have the 12 bands I didn't see.
Yeah.
And then, like, the bands I did see have been, like, added a numeral next to. Like, on day one, I saw L-Storm. Yeah. Which L-Storm is always good. I did have the unique experience of L-Storm stage, literally, like, the right side of the stage butted up against this area of porta potties.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was over there and I was like, I gotta take a pee. So I went to a porta potty. And I'm in a porta potty that's literally vibrating to the beat of L-Storm's music while I'm taking a pee while listening to Death by Piracy.
Yeah.
And, like, this is a specifically unique experience that, like, probably less than a dozen people in the world have.
Not necessarily good, but unique.
But yeah, it was interesting. I'm not seeing another band that like I would have seen earlier in the day that day.
I could have sworn there was another band I saw over on the second stage. I can't remember who it was, and I was like, I don't know them, but they performed well.
Wait, are you talking on the Beyond the Bourbon stage?
No.
I saw Islander on that stage as well that day.
Islander is very good.
Islander was honestly such a good live set.
Yeah.
They were so much fun. They engage like
kind of surprising from the last time Islander I saw when they were like
Like the big thing with Islander,
but I think that's just because they were like worn out the last time I saw them.
The big thing with Islander set for me was, and this is something you can do on smaller stages that you can't do on the main stage. They were just so engaged with the crowd, like actually like
you can interact with people, and there's less people. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I mean that's why I like smaller streamers too.
Fair.
I caught a little bit of Motionless in White. I think that was day 2 though. I didn't catch enough to actually qualify as seeing them. It was like one song.
Yeah, fair. I mean, they're always good, but when you see them enough, you've seen them enough, especially when they're not performing your favorite songs.
They really weren't. Yeah, I think that was mostly day 1. Also Sleep Token, obviously. I didn't include Avenged Sevenfold on my list. I only saw like 2 songs. And that... Oh, are you talking about Mudvayne?
It was Mudvayne. Yeah.
Mudvayne killed.
Mudvayne
was
I don't know Mudvayne super well, but I know them decently well. And they were so good live.
Chad Gray's performance
was fucking fantastic.
Like, he's the singer of Mudvayne. He had such an insane performance. He, like... I don't know if it was real tears on stage he was crying, but and I think it was like him performing clown.
Yeah.
Like the style of performance called clown that is a form of acting. I think he was doing clown performance essentially.
I think so.
But like he had himself in tears while like talking about not talking about the song specifically, but talking about like the crowds reacting to the songs. Like he's like, yeah, you just sing along with this song about like how much I hurt and hate myself. Like, yeah. And like, he did it in such a way where like, it felt like he was accusing the crowd of like feeding off his negative emotions. Yeah. Which is kind of true. Like, yeah, that's what happens when you take negative emotions and turn them into songs that people like feel in tune with. But like, God, Mudvayne was so good.
Spirit Box was also quite good.
Spirit Box,
but I lost a lot of respect for Spirit Box. They performed well, but they pissed me off.
Let's talk about more shit that made Louder Than Life terrible. Yeah. Spirit Box was the last band to perform on main stage B before Sleep Token.
Yes.
Which means they
were just before Mudvayne.
Spirit Box, Mudvayne, Sleep Token.
Yes.
In that order. Stage B, stage A for Mudvayne, stage B for Sleep Token.
Yeah.
So at this point, the crowd is fully
primed for Sleep Token.
And fully diffused with Sleep Token fans.
Yes.
Like, it is the maximum density of Sleep Token fans that you're going to get at this point because the next band on the stage is Sleep Token.
Yes.
So, obviously, it's a bunch of people who don't know stage etiquette, don't know metal etiquette, don't know, no festival etiquette. Yes. At some point, somebody near us got dropped, fell, passed out. I'm not sure. I wasn't close enough to actually see them. Our entire little spot, probably about 40 people surrounding this person, all X's in the air.
Yes.
Spirit Box, their song stops. She looks out at the crowd.
There's no sound playing, and you can hear people from the front, and I can see a few with hands up throwing exits saying, hey, there's someone hurt back there.
Yeah, you could hear them all the way in the front of the crowd, and we were like mid crowd.
Yep.
There's no way that the people on stage didn't hear, even if they have monitors in. They were literally right in front of them, 10, 15 feet away from lead singer Spirit Box, yelling, we need a medic, there's somebody hurt. And she looks into the crowd, says something about the next song, and just starts playing.
Yeah.
I lost every ounce of respect I have for Spirit Box as a band in that moment. Like, this is how people die at concerts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, who's the name of that, the guy who, like, had, like, 4 deaths at his concert and, like...
Wasn't it Lil Nas?
It wasn't Lil Nas. Lil Nas has never done that. It was somebody, like, that did a Fortnite collab later. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Don't care. It was some lame-ass rapper who was popular with the kids. I sound like an old man, but I don't give a shit. He should have stopped his show. He didn't. People died because of him. This is the same idea. Nobody died, thank God. But Spirit Box, there's no way she didn't see the X's. Again, 40, 50 people in the middle of the crowd, all with their hands in an X. You could hear people screaming that we needed medics right in the next song. It's fucked. It's fucked up. Their set was fine. Like...
Glorilla in 2023?
Not who I'm thinking of.
Travis Scott at Astroworld?
Travis Scott, Astroworld. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 people were pronounced dead on the day of the incident, and 2 more died in the hospital in the following days.
10 people dead.
Fatal crowd crush.
Because he didn't stop his show. Because he refused to stop the show.
Medical examiner's office declared the cause of death to be compressive asphyxiation, while the manner of death was ruled an accident.
Yeah, and that was also a bunch of people screaming, hey, you need to stop the show. There's videos of people, like, you could hear people screaming, stop the show. There's X's in the crowd. Like, same idea here. Luckily, nobody died, but, like,
yeah.
I think after the Travis Scott incident, we as a society, we should, like, be more in tune with, like, paying attention to your crowd, because it is your crowd. When you're performing on stage, that is your crowd. You're in charge of that group. You have the loudest voice in the room, literally because of the mic. You should be using that authority and that power to prevent, like, shit like that from happening.
Yeah.
She didn't. Spirit Box didn't care. And that sucks.
Yeah.
But day two, we didn't get there till like 4:30. We didn't make it into the actual venue until as Motionless in White was ending. They were playing like their last 2 songs as we got into the venue. So I saw 7 bands in total, 6.5 bands in total on Saturday.
Yeah.
The first one was Stone Temple Pilots, which
was my biggest draw for going. And before I decided eventually not to go, so like, the only band I really want to see is Stone Temple Pilots. But I feel like they'll be exactly what I expect Stone Temple Pilots to be, which is good, but not great. Just like, yo, I saw Stone Temple Pilots. Literally, like, that energy I just gave you would be the energy that I would feel seeing them.
So, I saw Stone Temple Pilots. They played all their greatest hits. Very good. Love that. But, Stone Temple Pilots...
Was I right? Did I deliver with the right amount of energy?
Has the same energy live that they do on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Which is just laid back, kind of lackadaisical.
Yeah, like... And, like, I'm not saying, like,
STP.
I'm not saying that Stone Temple Pilots should be a high energy band. They're like,
yeah,
hey, we're Stone Temple Pilots. This is Interstate Love Song. Let's go. Like, that would be at dissonance with Interstate Love Song.
Yeah.
At the same time,
it's a weird vibe for a festival.
Very weird. Like, it was fun singing along to the songs.
But I had the correct summation of what the energy would be.
I think you get the same exact experience of a Stone Temple Pilots festival performance. I can't speak for their individual concerts.
Yeah.
Festival performances and concert performances are different.
Very, very different.
But I think you get the Stone Temple Festival performance the exact same if you go find their set list, make that playlist on Spotify, get 2 really loud speakers, and then just play it in your living room.
Yeah, so basically what I assumed it would be before I was like, so I think I'm good.
Like, it's cool. I'm glad I saw Stone Temple Pilots, but I mean, sure.
I just like being proven right.
Saw Stabbing Westward.
I have to assume that was pretty good.
Yeah, they were fun. They were good.
Yeah.
I saw them from like 2 football fields away.
Yeah, I always forget how long Stabbing Westward's been around.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, they've been around for a while.
It was good. Watching some people not get how, like, rooted in punk ideology Stabbing Westward is, it was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, because he's talking about, like, crippling the fascist movements and, like, cutting the head off the capitalist overlords.
Yeah.
And, like, people are like, what? Like, the fuck? And, like, it's like,
dude, Stabbing Westward.
Like, they're not a punk band, but they live in punk ideology, man.
Yeah, they do.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Saw A Perfect Circle, which, A Perfect Circle is Tool, kind of. It's like 2 members of Tool and some members of other bands. It's a super group, but they have the same exact energy and, like, interests for me as Tool.
Yeah.
Which is none, because just like Sleep Token, Tool spends a lot of their time building their music and then going nowhere.
Yeah.
Which is apparently just like James Maynard Keenan's like entire thing.
Yeah. Also, back to the Stabbing Westward thing. Just to be clear, if you don't understand it, that's kind of on you. Their name is taken or slash inspired by like a 1950s speech about communism.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, come on, man.
I
They're
just
clearly rooted in political.
because I started watching Stabbing Westward because there's a giant screen next to the alcohol that comes in a box.
Yeah.
Beat boxes maybe is what they're called.
From bullshit.
Yeah, there was a giant screen there for those two stages at the far end of the venue, playing that set, playing that's those stages, and that's where I started watching them. And I moved closer to that crowd. Yeah. But, like, I was standing there, and, like, the music's not, like, so loud you can't, like, have conversations. But, like, people are like, the fuck? Like, actively, like...
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, dude.
Come on, man.
This is it. This is...
You're at a Meta Festival, and you have some bands that have been around since the 90s and early 2000s. You're gonna get that. How do you not know that?
I also saw Cypress Hill.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. Cypress Hill was just a vibe. I bought my Crow t-shirt while Cypress Hill was playing.
Ah, fair.
Because they were down on those two stages.
Yeah.
Then... I caught a little tiny bit of Dream Theater. That's the half a band I saw. I saw like 2 songs by Dream Theater.
So you saw 20 minutes of Dream Theater?
No, I saw the last half of one song and all of the other.
Yeah.
So like 15 minutes of Dream Theater. But I will say this. Dream Theater might be a better live band than Coheed and Cambria.
Wild.
Wild
claim.
In the defense of that statement, this is their first tour back with Mike Portnoy.
Oh, yeah, fair.
The greatest drummer to walk the face of the earth
Portnoy
right now.
He is fucking amazing.
He's back with the band, and they were very good.
I believe it.
And then I saw Trivium. Trivium was the only band all weekend I got in the pit for, and that's because
Trivium's always great.
That's because our friend of the show, Matt, Trivium's his favorite band. He got passes to the show, was able to make it to Friday, had to leave early, and then like he has a kid because he's an adult, and he wasn't able to make it to Saturday, which is Trivium.
Yeah,
he's
like, I'm not interested in coming on Sunday.
Yeah, I was like, you're not here. Somebody has to throw down for Trivium. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
And so I was in the pits for Trivium. Had a great time with Trivium. Love them.
They are a band I did not like until I saw them live.
Yeah, me too. I was like the first half a dozen times I listened to Trivium with Matt, like in his car, going to different places, concerts and stuff. I went, they're kind of like Metallica, but worse.
Yeah.
Which
is a big statement coming from someone who really doesn't like Metallica.
Yeah, I've grown on Metallica as I've got older, but like
I didn't have that take. I just went, I can't be bothered.
But they're so good live.
Like, I have not grown on Metallica as I've gotten older. Yeah. I still only like 3 songs, and I still don't like Metallica.
Fair enough. And there are no Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden. Like, no. The fact that Metallica was, for a while there, like, the biggest name in metal music.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing.
When they were competing with, like, 2 of the best bands to ever walk the earth.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's wild. And then I did see Bad Omens. I watched most of Bad Omens from a tent with some ceiling fans and a wooden floor and a giant screen and alcohol, because the Beyond the Bourbon stage is the best stage. That said, I also did learn, so there's like the 2 main stages, but then there's like auxiliary main stages, which are like, they're kind of main stage, but they're not like main stage. There was a total of 8 stages at Louder Than Life. And there's like the 2 really small stages, 7 stages Louder Than Life, sorry. 2 really small stages, the stage inside Kentucky Kingdom itself.
Yes.
And then the 2 like side stages and the main stages. And the 2 side stages is where Trivium, Dream Theater, basically all the bands.
Cypress Hill, Whitechapel, Miss May I.
Whitechapel, Stabbing Westward, all the bands except like A Perfect Circle, Mudvayne, A Perfect Circle, Stone Temple Pilots, and Bad Omens. All the bands I saw on day 2 were on those 2 stages. That being said, there is a place called the Headbangers Hall. Yeah. It requires an ID to get in because it's 21 or older. And it's literally just a bar. Yeah. Like, it's literally just a bar. They have pinball machines on one side of the wall, which was really cool. Tables and stuff. And then there's a DJ in there balancing the set list from the auxiliary stages and playing a feed from that stage. And then in between sets, DJing music.
Dope.
And free entry, fully air conditioned, and it might actually be better than Beyond the Bourbon stage. Yeah. In that regard, as a place to watch shows, because at the end of the day, after those 2 auxiliary stages close down, they also turn into this is a place to watch the main stage. So, pretty dope.
Fair.
But none of us went to the Headbangers Hall because we're like, you gotta get ID'd to go in.
Also, there was a fairly decent line the 3 times we walked by.
Early in the day, there's a line because people have to get either wristbanded. They have to get wristbanded to go in.
Yeah,
but,
I get it.
I got my wristband from Beyond the Bourbon, and they didn't even card me to go in. They just checked my wristband. So I checked that I had the wristband from somewhere else. So you could go anywhere else, get your wristband, and then just go straight
to
the door.
You have to go somewhere else to get alcohol, and they'll wristband you, and then you can go in.
Yep. Very valuable knowledge for future years if I ever go back to Louder Than Life. But I don't think I'm ever going back to Louder Than Life if they stay at Kentucky Kingdom.
Fair.
Like, it's just, and if I do, I'm just going to spend the entire time sitting in either Headbangers Hall or Beyond the Bourbon. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go in those crowds. It was hot as fuck. The crowds were squashed, like, so dense. And, like, as I've gotten older, I have become, I don't know what the term is here, but this is my best way to describe it. My very first concert I ever went to, discounting this band we saw at our local high school, who weren't like local to us, but one of the members went to our high school, so on their way through the area, they stopped and played a show at our high school. Discounting that one show, the first show I ever actually went to was A Day to Remember with Under Oath, The Word Alive, and Close Your Eyes. And by the time A Day to Remember took stage, the crowd in this aircraft hangar, because the music venue is an abandoned aircraft hangar, was so dense that when the crowd jumped, you jumped. And for the longest time, that was such a cool story that I could tell. Like, it felt like this really cool, like, thing that, like, this really cool experience I could share with people. I saw Avenged Sevenfold at Louder Than Life in 2015.
Yeah.
The crowd was denser than it was at A Day to Remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was outside. It was the end of summer. It didn't peak as high as it did this year, but it was like high 80s.
Okay.
Covered in sweat. I am broke as fuck, so I don't have that much money to, like, get water bottles and shit. And, like, the water they had for free refills was, like, at 2 locations, and lines were massive, and it tasted like shit.
Yeah.
So I was probably dehydrated, and Avenged Sevenfold comes on, the crowd presses forward, and man, I had never had a panic attack in my life, but I did in that moment. Like, the only thing my brain could think was, I have to get out of this crowd. I'm going to die. If I don't get out of this crowd, I'm going to fucking die. I have to go. Yeah. That was my brain.
Fair.
And I did. I got out of the crowd. Somebody gave me a bottle of water as, like, I got closer to one of the tents. Like, they were just like, hey, you look like you need this. And they literally just handed me an unopened bottle of water. It was an event staff.
Yeah.
Which was cool of them. I took my last $2 in cash, tipped it in their tip jar, and drank that bottle of water while, like, laying on the ground listening to Avenged Sevenfold play.
Yeah.
The difference between those 2 periods is like 5 years. Mm-hmm. In 5 years, I went from, this is the coolest fucking experience in my life, being packed this close, when the crowd jumps, you jump, to being, this is the fucking worst thing I can ever imagine. I never want to experience it again.
Fair.
And I thought maybe like a decade later, Louder Than Life 2, Electric Boogaloo, I would be like, you know what? No, this is fine. It's not fine. Still hate it. God damn, is it the worst. We were sitting in that giant crowd waiting for Sleep Token. On day 1, on our day 1, day 2 of Louder Than Life. And at one point, I have my hands above my head. I'm just trying to, like, deep breathe, keep myself calm, because this crowd is so fucking dense and I don't want to be there. And, like, I'm only here because, like, I agreed to, like, part of the reason we went to this Louder Than Life at all is because our sister was like, we want to go to these crowds, we want to go to these shows, but we are scared of the crowds. We don't want to, like, so Justice and I were there to, like, act as back blocks to prevent people from, like, crushing our sister and niece.
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, I don't want to be here, but, like, my sister's, like, partially paying for this because she wanted us here, so I'm just going to deal with it, cope, no problem. My sister turns around and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Because I was physically fine.
Yeah.
And she's like, you look like you're going to pass out. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm going to be okay. Just trying to get some breathing going here. And, like, they used me as an excuse to bail out of the crowd. And, like, they admitted that they didn't want to be there either. It was too packed for them. But, like, they have still, like, it's been a month. And, like, they're still like, well, we left the crowd because Josh was, like, going to pass out. And I'm like, no, I wasn't. I was fine. I just, like, was not enjoying myself at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, but that... Anyways, that's Louder Than Life 2025 for us.
Yeah, and I think that's really it.
I mean, I've been watching Sons of Anarchy. I got 1 season left. I am 1 run away from beating Hades, which I'll probably do that tonight.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. 1 run away from beating Hades 2's main story. And also 66% of the way through all the achievements.
Nice. Not bad at all.
33 out of 50 achievements. And the 50th achievement is just getting the other 49.
Yeah. The classic 50th achievement.
Yeah, so I'm, like, really close to, like, 100%ing Hades 2, which is something I don't do with video games.
Yeah.
Hades 2 is my favorite video game of all time. Just got my first tattoo last week. It's the House Hades logo from the game Hades.
Yeah, but with the Hades 2
color scheme of Melanie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, like, the big things for me. Hades 2 finally came out. I am in love with the game. I'm almost done with it. I got a tattoo for the from the game. Justice, have you been doing anything?
No, not at all. I don't do much. I'm like a platypus. That does also mean I do have a secret agent life, but I'm obviously not going to talk about that. Fuck. I didn't say that.
Okay, well, I think that's everything Inside the Cockpit this time. Mostly it was just us discussing Louder Than Life, kind of like a trip report. What I will say
we didn't do Jujin Gone this year. We did a music festival. We've changed things up for you. Be excited.
What I will say is we are considering going to Sonic Temple next year.
Maybe.
Our sister actually is really big on going to Louder Than Life next year because she wants to see My Chemical Romance.
But they're also going to be at Sonic Temple. Sonic Temple has a better layout. It has a better lineup.
And it's roughly a third of the attendees.
Yeah.
And also, it's not all in concrete.
Yeah. There's also seating because it's a giant stadium. So, like, if you want to just sit and watch something, you can do that.
So, like...
And because it's all a festival, so it's all general admission, unless you're paying for VIP stuff, you can just snag a seat when you need one and still watch a band, which is the most important fucking part. You had one stage where you could sit and watch bands at Louder Than Life if you didn't pay for VIP shit. And that was only after they opened Kentucky Kingdom. It was one of the smaller stages, whereas literally the big main stage at Sonic Temple is in a fucking stadium and has stadium seating. You can be down on the field if you want, or you can sit in a fucking seat and watch the main stage.
I didn't mention the one band I actually saw at the Kentucky Kingdom stage.
Yeah.
The Browning.
Ah, yeah, nice.
The Browning must be more popular than I remember.
They have grown exponentially in popularity. It's fucking wild. I love it.
The Kentucky Kingdom stage, every seat was filled.
People standing all the way around.
The floor was filled.
People back behind the area where you couldn't even see the stage, just lounging around.
The staircases into the arena were full.
Yeah.
Like it was packed.
Arena's a strong term. It's one of those like little show stages you'll see for like a small like presentation at like...
What's the actual term for it?
It's a small amphitheater.
It's amphitheater, yeah.
Yeah,
Not,
it's a very small...
It was an amphitheater.
It's a very small amphitheater.
Like the stairs into the amphitheater were packed with people. It was goddamn packed.
I believe it. The Browning's, like I said, grown exponentially in size. It's wild.
I was just glad to see him again.
Fair.
But yeah, I'm trying to, like, she's also actually like considering Sonic Temple now, and like...
Cool. It has some of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I know. Coheed's playing there.
Dance Gavin Dance is playing there.
Atreyu's playing.
Atreyu's playing there. Lorna Shore is playing there. Death Clock's playing there.
My Chemical Romance is playing there.
Electric Callboy.
The set is actually, like, the band list for Sonic Temple is insane. I'm assuming Louder Than Life will be similar.
Stone Temple Pilots is going to be there.
But, like, no matter which show we go to, there's no way in hell you're convincing me to get into the My Chemical Romance crowd.
No.
So I'm sure it's going to be just as bad.
Hey, I might technically be in the crowd for My Chemical Romance if we go to Sonic Temple.
You mean in the seats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting down in the actual crowd.
Oh, God, no.
With My Chemical Romance fans.
No.
I'm assuming that'll be just as bad as Sleep Token fans.
Probably worse.
Like, the only upside I have for My Chemical Romance is, like...
There's definitely a bunch of old heads.
There's so many old heads. Like, My Chemical Romance will be filled with old heads.
Yeah.
And, like...
Hopefully they know what to do.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
I think that's it. I think we're done here.
Yeah, I think we are.
Catch you on the next flight. If you would like to contact us in any way before that, you can do so by emailing us at copilotsreview@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you want to dispute any of, like, the facts we laid out in this episode, like whether Mike Portnoy is actually the greatest drummer walking the face of the earth, or if Coheed and Cambria are the best live performance, or maybe Dream Theater, like, that's up in the air maybe for me.
The Travis Scott thing, because I think we may have gotten some of that wrong. I think he actually, like, owned/sponsored the NRG like thing that he was doing there. Though I think his lawsuit might have been because like crowd rushed before gates and bad things happened because they were understaffed on security.
It was during the set.
I think they would think it was multiple things went wrong.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like I don't know. I don't think all the deaths or I don't think all the casualties and fatalities were from that one set. I think the set had some, and I think other parts were because it was badly ran and understaffed by security, given guest to security ratio. But I don't entirely know.
Yeah, all I know is after something like that, we should have like taken crowd safety a little more seriously.
Yeah, probably.
It's similarly like after the shooting in Vegas during that country concert, we should probably take like outdoor concerts and the safety of like the buildings around the concert a little more seriously. So? But we don't.
No.
It's America. Are you going to learn from your mistakes?
God, no.
But yeah, if you want to contact us about any of that, there's a myriad of ways to do so. You could do so at our Blue Sky, copilotsreview at bluesky.com.
Our Gmail, like I said, which you can find a link to both our Gmail, our Blue Sky, as well as our Patreon, our YouTube, our Discord, and other stuff by going to copilotsreview at copilotsreview.simplecast.com.
And like you said, email copilotsreview@gmail.com. But additionally, if you're not currently, we do have a YouTube channel, Copilots Review. You might need to search Copilots Review Podcast to find it.
Yeah.
Or use the link from our website.
Because Microsoft made this really, really bad language learning model that they want to convince you is in and of itself an artificial intelligence and named it Copilot, and it's fucked us.
It really has. But more importantly, all of our episodes are now on YouTube.
Yep.
Our episodes release almost simultaneously. The YouTube is about a little bit behind.
It rips it from our RSS feed, so it has to go up first.
But like, if you prefer getting your podcast from YouTube because you just like having YouTube on in the background, we're on there now.
Technically, we've been on there, just severely outdated.
And now it's fully caught up.
Yep.
So you want to fly with us? We'll see you on the next flight.